All right, it's December 25th. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm just hanging out here in the basement, and I thought that, Christmas is a busy day, and I thought I'd take a couple minutes and jump on and see what's up with everybody else. You know what? Sometimes hobbies can get lonely, things can happen, and so, you know what? I'll take the next little while and I'll sit with you guys and we can talk about anything you want. I haven't got any big projects on the go right now. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff I should be working on, but I thought I would just say, hey, listen, let's hang out for the next little bit. I do have my cup of cheer, and I got a couple nice little things today, and I thought that I would share that with you, and just see what everybody else is up to. So, I should go backwards here. I can see the chat lit up immediately and just say hello to everybody. So, right off the hop, James, Dundas Junction, Merry Christmas to you. Brian Ferguson and Chris May and Steve B.N. Ironwork, Merry Christmas to you as well. Pine Valley Railroad, RDG, Kraus Rails, Brian, Merry Christmas to each of you. Smith of Gear, let me see who else. YouTube 7048, I Run Games and Trains, Johnny Knoxville, Scott Rails. Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. This has been a surprisingly long day. Oh, look, and Pete and Jason Jensen, Merry Christmas to you guys as well. As I said, I thought I'd run down here and just hang out with you guys for a little bit. This might be a little bit of an indicator of one of the things that I got under the tree today. My kids, I don't know how they pulled it off or how they even knew it, but they did get me one of the mystery boxes by Rapido, the N Scale one. And so, I'm happy to go over it, and I'm super happy with it and excited about it. In terms of culture, these hats, so certainly the people who, all of my friends in the United States, if you ordered the mystery boxes, you got a different hat than this. You got a blue camouflage hat. And those of us up in Kanakistan, we got this particular hat. And this has got a lot of cultural significance that's a bit of an undercurrent. And so years and years and years ago, there was a popular yet not very good movie called Strange Brew with Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis. And it is a farcical movie about two idiot Canadians that go to Elsinore Brewery and, all of the sort of like random problematic stuff that happened. But anyway, Rick Moranis of Bob and Doug McKenzie was wearing this exact toque. So this is like this huge cultural icon. Yeah, Kanakistan, yes, for sure. Take off yeah. Hey, how's it going, eh? Yeah. Anyway, so I got a mystery box, and I'm really happy with it. But when I get online, I would say that there's people that weren't very happy with it. And honestly, I think it's great. So just real fast, I'm going to go through what was in my box, and I'm happy, but maybe other people didn't see the same value in it as I did. Merry Christmas, Possum Bay and Approach Medium. So this was a pretty standard offering, and I would say that one of the things about it was it didn't have a ton of variety. Why did it not have a ton of variety in it? Because it was all covered hoppers, and I've seen this with other people. It was 6 covered hoppers and one of their buses. I think this is great, but I understand that some people maybe weren't as happy with getting the same, everything of the same. Merry Christmas, Wigwag. Yeah, watch it every year. Yeah, there's a law about if there's a mouse in your beer that you get a free case of beer. Anyway, so the mystery box came with the regular sort of stuff. It had your chocolate, your sticker and stuff. But I got 6 of the covered hoppers, all different road numbers, a couple different road names. And man, I'm thrilled. Like, this is an instantaneous unit train right in the box. And I did get a bus, and it is Montreal, which isn't appropriate for me, but these are wonderful little buses. Johnny Knoxville, I'm not familiar with the mystery box. Oh, so for the last few years, Rapido Trains has done a mystery box, and there is sort of levels in HO. It's like bronze, silver, platinum, or something like that. And this year they had an N scale box. And what is that? You send off some money, and there's a rough guidance of what you're going to get, and you get your box. And you get what you get, and you don't get upset. And I will tell you that the value is pretty high, meaning that for every 33 cents you're spending, you're probably getting $1 worth of merchandise. The N Scale box, I think, was in around $100, and 6 covered hoppers and a bus and toque and a couple extra things is double what that's sort of worth. So I was totally happy with it. So I got those. I mean, I'm going to wear this forever. But in addition to that, and this makes it all bring together, is that I got something called a puke book. Now, before you think that that's totally crazy, this is a puke book. Now, the reason it's called a puke book is that's another way to say throw up. And throw up is a graffiti thing. And this is my second one of these. My friend Steve sent me one of those. And the thing about a puke book is that what these are is that these are just images, blank images, to practice graffiti. So instead of going out into the world, you've just got all these, and this is an opportunity to practice up drawing, tags, throwies, burners, and all that sort of stuff. And that's really perfect for me because it is my full intention with these covered hoppers to take them to the end of the earth and make them the worst looking things you've ever seen. Just rusty. Just take them all to sort of a brown color. And I think it's going to be thrilling. One of the nice things really about this is that because this was a gift from my kids, and I'm very grateful for it, but because I didn't necessarily pine over them and invest, and because I know that they are an affordable version of that, I don't feel bad at all about wrecking them, like weathering them to the end of the ends of the world. In the same way that with my passenger equipment, you know, I'm hesitant to even get dust on them. So I think it's going to be great fun. And one of the things that you've maybe seen me do a little bit is that I've got my garbage gondolas from the Otter Valley Railroad, and they have been amazing fun. I have been weathering them and learning a lot about weathering with them, and it's relaxed. I've got 7 of them, and they progressively get better. And so the fact that I can sit down, maybe even over the winter break here, because I'm very fortunate. My work is off until whatever the Monday after the New Year's Day is. I basically can maybe spend that entire time just ruining these. And that's really freeing, because I want to have more time to do that so that I can learn to do a better job of weathering and such. So yeah, I get to work basically work on practicing up some graffiti. One of my guilty pleasures is just watching graffiti videos. I've got a couple books with letter forms in it. And yeah, that's going to set me on the path to working on these passenger cars. And so, I will say this much, it has been a busy, busy month. I have not been online as much as I definitely wanted to be. This last 30 days, my work has been really very busy. And as a result of that, the fact that, I mean, we just got through our longest night of the year, it has been not a lot of free time to myself down here. And so admittedly, things sort of have stalled out. One of the things I am working on is some concrete effects for my retaining wall, and it's coming along quite well. And one of the things I may get to tonight is I want to sand some paper, literally sanding paper, because I want to see, I've got some posters I'll show you in a little bit that I want to put onto these concrete retaining walls, and I want to figure out a way to make them sort of semi-transparent, and I think the best way I can do that is to sand behind them. And so yeah, I'm going to play around a little bit with that. I maybe can grab one of the wall sections and show you where that sits, but the goal is to have 2 of those sections done before the new year. This is part of the Third Rail Thursday, and going into the new year, we're going to maintain the same schedule for all of us. But I just wanted to say that there will be probably no live stream on the 1st. God knows where anyone's going to be waking up on New Year's Day, and so I'm not going to commit to necessarily being here. But January happens to be a 5 Thursday month, and so we'll pick it up the following week. I think that's the 8th. And so yeah, it is myself and then Chris over at Go Via Go Home, Mark at M&M Rails, and then the last of every month is GVO After Dark, and goodness knows what happens in that. Paint, dry, grass grow, sandpaper. Mr. Stamp, FGLK Paul, Merry Christmas to you, sir. And I hope I haven't missed anybody tonight. Kevin's Tiny Trains, Merry Christmas to you. Vintage HO Trains, Merry Christmas to you. I think I've still got everybody. I had a girlfriend a long time ago that loved me rough, like 60 grit. Outstanding. Merry Christmas to Mr. DMRJ. So yeah, I hope that everybody's having a good time for the holiday season. It just basically started, and today I was fortunate enough that I actually got to host my family. So it has been a busy day. And so this is actually me getting to cool down. And as for the question of what's in the mug, what's in the mug is something that I have to put in a mug to bring onto a camera. So, just for me. Kevin's Tiny Trains, I did get some nice hoppers. I'll put them down here. Santa in combination with Rapido Trains did well by me this year. What was I going to say? Now, the other thing I noticed today was I am very grateful that Rapido Trains announcement was amazing. It's become a bit of a Christmas tradition that Rapido Trains does a Christmas Day announcement. They are so quintessentially Canadian that they are painful to watch yet totally hilarious. And luckily for me, nothing is for me on that list. The Go Transit release with the Hawker passenger cars and everything, oh my goodness, like that is right up my alley, and thank God it's not an N scale. Even though I was talking to a friend and I said that there is a strong chance, I'll call it a 30% chance, that I would still buy a set of the HO equipment just because it's outstanding. But yeah, I am going to be able to maintain my sanity and my wallet. That's the other thing I tried not to do this past basically November, December was try to spend too much. And so I've done well. I haven't really invested. I haven't invested very much in any of the equipment. Paul, I thought for sure your trip to photograph the VA Historical Society equipment was related. No. I mean, there are certainly, I guess you could call some ties between maybe Rapido Trains and the Historical Association, but no, that's I'm just doing a little bit of work, or at least I'm trying to do a little bit of work to help out the Via Rail Historic Association and maybe take some photographs and some videos for them just to increase their presence online, because they're doing some great work, and unless you really dig into the details of what they're up to, you may not have any clue their preservation activities, preservation challenges, what they stand for. So yeah, I was just giving them a hand. Merry Christmas, Mr. Cubber, and everyone else in the chat. So, sanding paper. I have been working on my retaining walls. Let me see if I can't just find one to give you what's going on here. Okay, so anyone who has spent more than 5 minutes here knows that I have a troubling amount of concrete that I need to paint and prepare on this layout. It is no exaggeration when I say there is roughly 26 feet of retaining walls that I need to paint, weather, and dystopiatize. And that is no small feat. And to be honest, I'm actually kind of not looking forward to it because it is so repetitive. However, I'm going to do it anyway. So one of the things I'm going to pick away at is trying to make these walls individual pieces. And I have gone over this before, which is that all of my retaining walls are in these sort of sections, so that what I can do is take them from the layout and work on the workbench and put them back. And so I am begrudgingly going through that process. It'll be great when it's done, but I'm begrudgingly going through the process. Oh my goodness, more people here. B33, LAT, Merry Christmas to you. N Scale Train Boy and Kevin's Tiny Trains. Merry Christmas to you guys as well. We're just hanging out. So, this is a section of one of my retaining walls, and you probably, if you've tuned into a previous live stream, I've been working with these for quite some time. But I have done well that I've sort of come up with a way to create a concrete texture that I'm really, really happy with. And I'm working on sharing that, but what I can say is that it has to do with toxic solvents and spray glue to get this sort of finish, and it's coming along really well. Johnny Knoxville, if you just set a weekly goal for repetitive work, X amount of feet, I 100% agree. I 100% agree, and I'm usually really good at this. But this past week, man, I was going to work and arriving home from work in the dark, and man, that just pulled the wind out of the sails. And then when you're trying to get ready for Christmas, so Christmas week's going to be a turnaround time. You know, who needs to lose weight in the new year? I'm just going to get more done on the layout. So what I want to do is, I've got some of the areas distressed with the rebar coming out, and I'm really happy with that. And I've got other areas that are just blank, a little bit of minor distressing, and I want to put on sort of old-timey sort of distressed posters. And that's pretty popular. However, I want them to be sort of hilarious, like dystopian hilarious. And so using the help of our benevolent master, AI, and a little bit of Photoshop, what I did is that I went out and I collected different images and tried to make some posters, and then I would give those rough posters, those rough concepts, to actually just ChatGPT, and I would say, can you clean this up? And it would spit them back out. And so concepts and basic images were mine, cut and paste really badly, and then AI took it across the line. RDG, I put in 57 hours of work in the last 5 days. That's wild. I'm very fortunate. That wasn't my week. And so you haven't seen sunlight since November, basically. So let me show you what I've got going on. And so I worked on a series of ads here that were combinations of sort of humorous things, and these would be about 33 feet long, which is like a standard size city ad. And so I have things like, you know, there's a whole new world out there, touch grass, movie poster for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Meat Express hot dogs because meat is meat, right? Not forgetting your ID while you're doing some trick-or-treating. This one here touches on living near Toronto, which construction is always in season. Mouse traps with gas mask wearing people. And then the same people with tins of shelf-stable meat. Oh, and sort of like an Operation Lifesaver. I'd hate to see you on the evening news. And so I haven't really done much more than that. But I want these guys right here to occupy the occasional space right here. And so I want to sort of distress them so that they don't just stick out like a sore thumb. And so yeah, this is round one. I imagine that this is going to become a ton of fun. And for anyone old enough, all of these come from an obsession I used to have with wacky packages. And this was it maybe Topps released these stickers, which were all of these farce product stickers. And I collected them back when sticker books were a thing, and you would collect these things and you put them in, and they had this same look and feel. And so I have actually 2 books of wacky packages, and at least some of the original ones, that I got mini ones, and so that's where these came from. Possibly Bugs and Dead People. Soylent Green. Oh, Smith of Gear. Yes, just like Snowpiercer. Merry Christmas, little muley. Johnny Knoxville, if you could do some peeling effects, I was coming off the wall. So Johnny, that's what I want to try to work on with some sanding. Kevin's Tiny Trains, do you take suggestions for slogans? You give me any slogan and I promise you I'll make a poster for it. My God, if anyone puts anything in here, let me remember to email it to me. I will absolutely make something about it. Adam Cruz is doing a Soylent Green reefer car. Hang on. Okay, I need to write some of this stuff down. What do we got here? Soylent Green? 100%. I'll make a Soylent Green sign. That's opposite. Johnny Knox, Garbage Pail Kids, exactly. Very similar. Denny, what program do you use to print? I just downloaded the images and put them into Photoshop and just printed them from there. Merry Christmas, John Garvin, 2125. Kevin's trying to tell you, flashy dogs, don't worry about the color. Hot dog. Flashy dogs it is. Where is my paper? I'll just put it here, flashy dogs. Don't worry about the color. All right. So these are the ads I printed. These were done with a color laser printer, just on a regular bond paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand them from the back side to see if I can make them as thin as possible. Give them some vertical cuts like they were rolled on. And then I haven't thought much past that because it's only a little Christmas evening thing. So I suppose I need something a little flatter than this to sand on. How would I feel about, this will be fine. This will live. So I think someone said 220. What do I got here in my sticks? That feels pretty aggressive. Pork, the one you love for dinner tonight. My God, dude. Pork, the one you love for dinner tonight. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do some work. So let's try Meat Express here, which I can see is around here. Well, that's not near aggressive enough. That's going to make me wildly angry. Okay, let's try something a little. I mean, I don't imagine I can use something like 80 grit very successfully on this. Wikipedia says they've released Wacky Patches posters. Oh my goodness, this is going to be... Oh, I guess it is sanding. Do I have anything rougher? What is this? I bet this is 220. No, it's 120. Okay. Well, who knew that paper was that resilient? I wonder if I could just use an orbital sander. Oh, it's starting to come up a little bit. Someone looking over your shoulder right now. They're like, hey, what are you watching? Some guy sanding the back of a piece of paper. 10 out of 10. Peak Christmas content. Maybe a sanding block would work better. Let's go. Oh, it's starting to pill up. 10 out of 10 to approach medium. So can you see? Oh, I bet you can see on the camera. You can start to see it's coming through. On August 30th, 2012, a modernist used to... Oh. Ah, okay. So they're still 13 years, 20, yeah, okay. Okay, all right, so I'm pretty sure that you guys can see then that this is starting to eat through. I haven't got to the other side quite yet. I want to try to make this as thin as possible. I use sandy sticks. You can focus where you want the sanding to be. So what my thinking is, this is a team journey here, is that I want to get it thinner. And then what I want to do is maybe your approach and try to take a little bit of material out in specific spots. Doesn't look very much different there. I would really like to try an 800 grit with a sanding block. I don't have any 800 grit around. Although this sanding block is really this is more fun than I thought it was going to be, actually. Turn it around while holding it to a light. Okay. Well, first of all, I can... It's funny, I think the problem with that particular light is it's too intense. But we're getting closer here. I really don't want to screw up my book. I have done little ones in the past, just holding it to a bench belt sander. But if I can do something like this while watching television, and just mindlessly go at it, this is working pretty well though. I realize I don't have anything to sort of glue it to. Oh, I can start to... Yeah, I would use this mat, but it is so covered in glue that it's going to create bumps that are going to catch. I do have a piece of glass that has got some stuff gluing on it right now that I could use that. Or I've got some masonite. Oh wow, this is really thin. Well, this has worked out better than I thought. Okay. So next, let's cut that out. All right, where is... Bit of a mess here. Biohazard car with the Andromeda strain virus. Oh, I like this. Definitely, I've got a bit of a thing for Resident Evil as well. Good evening, Mr. John Train BFGR. Merry Christmas to you, sir. For people just getting here, this is absolutely just a low-key evening of us just hanging out, and all I'm doing tonight is just chatting with you guys because it's Christmas, and sometimes it's nice to hook up with your friends. And I'm just doing a bit of a test run on some, I would say, wacky package-inspired silly billboards for my railroad. And right now I've just been sanding back these laser printouts to see if I can get some of these images to be thin enough that if I glue them onto concrete, they will look old and tattered and bad. So Rusty Tracks Railroad, yes. So I am familiar with the technique that you're talking about. For anyone who's not aware of it, so thanks for bringing it up. Mod Podge transferred, which is what you do is, as he's pointed out in the chat, is that what you do, you take something, you give it 1 or 2 coats of medium, Mod Podge, matte medium, gloss medium, and when it dries, you wet it, and then you take your finger and it will peel or pill the paper off the back and then create a transparent coat. It was something that I remember people doing a lot of in my final year of art school. The only challenge with it is that I found that it kept the brush marks and stuff, and I need this to be textureless, so to speak, but it is good. The Umbrella Corp. Yes, 100% the Umbrella Corp. I have some stencils for the Umbrella Corporation hanging around here somewhere. And certainly I have some models that I made a couple years ago. All right, so I think that oh yeah. YouTube watching a guy sanding paper. Denny is right. This is riveting YouTube content. I'm here for every moment. Listen. Okay. Saying matte medium 3 times in the mirror will summon boomer diorama has to be the finest, most niche jokes that you could possibly throw into a chat. Oh my God. That and Golden, his favorite acrylic paint. Little Mule. This is just regular printer paper, just whatever, 80 bound laser printer paper. So, this is now almost tissue thin. But, let's see. I mean, I haven't even checked the sizing on this. So something like, we go about there. So let's, okay, so first of all, I'm excited about that. I realize that billboards are large in the city. Daddy ink, it's laser. YouTube, it's a color laser printer. So just for a scale, so this is the retaining wall. And that's the size of a hopper car. You know what? I guess that size is okay. Now this is in front of the retaining wall. It's going past about like that. I guess that's okay. Yeah. I run games. If you see something, say something. Absolutely. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. Let me write that down. Let me get my life together here first. Okay. See something? Say something. 100%. Box cards don't read billboards anyway. Exactly right. Now, I'm not going to put this on tonight, but that's looking pretty good. So I think the next thing I want to do is play with the idea that it's coming down. Exactly, little mules. Let's screw this up a little bit more. The other thing I did, I don't know if you can see, I put chain link fencing along the top of this, and that has been an exercise in frustration because it is cold now, and my FDM printer does not behave in the cold. They don't like it. Okay, so let's give this some damage. And so, as I understand it, these would be put up in strips. A small wire brush will do a nice worn down effect. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to rethink this for a second. Okay, hang on. I have a wire brush. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, sorry. So would decal paper work for what you're trying to do? I don't know if... so I bet decal paper would work. The trouble with decal paper that I have found is that you can either get inkjet or laser. The difficulty is that we are used to decals being done with a white ink layer. You can print decals on laser or inkjet, but it will only be additive color with CMYK, in this case, CMYK black. Yeah, CMYK black. So everything will print, and no matter, unless you put it on top of something white, it'll also be darker. So the problem with that is that you won't get any of these bright colors. It'll just go on top and it won't work well. So decal paper, unless you have a white ink printer, white ink laser or white ink jet, doesn't work as well. So which is why I'm sort of stuck with trying to figure out if I can use this. Now, let me see. I do have some options for, oh, so white decal paper. Okay, not clear. All right. Be right back. Give me 2 seconds. I have an idea with this. Now, what I was thinking was that my Dremel tool used to have little wire wheels, and I thought that I could use that. But I do have this for cleaning off pipes. Might be a bit aggressive, but I mean, we might as well just go for it. So, nothing, I don't know, trized. No, oh, wait a second. Hang on. If you find a buck, pick it up. What I'm thinking for find a buck, pick it up, is that we could have that for the Department of Roadkill. Right? Free meals are roadside for you. I think Don't Squeeze the Charmin would also work well in a sort of a... Don't Squeeze the Charmin is great. Maybe try a toothbrush first. Listen here. It's not how we roll. This is... Maybe this is a bit absurd. Okay, so should I try this from the front or from the back? Who hatched you? Roadkill, from the streets to your table. We have to pause, folks, because there's a man of genius here. How about from our street to your table? Also, okay, yeah, lowest color saturated. Okay. Well, what do we think? Would the wear be happening at the top or the bottom? I feel like the top. A man from my generation. Yeah, where's the beef? Interesting, that's not even grabbing. Okay, let's be a little more aggressive. Everybody's witnessing this, right? Like I'm using... Yeah, oh no, I was talking about using a small wire brush from Micromark. Absolutely. Please stop with that brush. This is how we do things here. Their entire channel is dedicated to working with equipment from the dollar store. Benchmark. This laser printer is wild tough. Micromark, eat your heart out. Do I dare go from the front? Like, I can't tell you how thin this is. Denny subscribes to the start where you are or what you have and do what you can. Listen, my guy, 100%. I feel pretty confident that Model Railroad Craftsman's not going to call me to take this as an article. Like, it's wearing it down, but my God. Like, this is so thin at this point, it's got one side. You see, that's your problem. You're using a welding wire brush on paper. It wasn't, right? This will take off skin and rust quicker than anything else, but it can't get through the fine surface of paper. I mean, cheap toilet paper is thicker than this at this point. All right. Who is talking about using sanding sticks? We're going for it down here. I'm waiting for the top of the sign to fall off. Listen. We're in this together. If I fail, we all fail at this point. That's how it's going to be. The problem is that once it goes through, it goes straight through, 100%. Like that. We all saw that, right? Like the emery stick. Okay, I don't hate it though. So if I just... Oh. Oh, I think we're onto something now. So that's starting to look better. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the edge of this like a little knife. This is working great now. Oh, even pulled a little piece off there. Who cares? We're going for it. Okay, we're not doing badly there. Yeah, what's the grit of a welding brush? 1. Oh, I don't use those type of sticks because they stick to the paper. Too funny. You can tell people, model railroaders, you have no life on Christmas Day or evening. Listen here. Listen. Scott Rails, I would stop there. I agree. Okay. I need something to give this a try on. So this is a testing thing. Could always bury it in the snow and pick up the project in the spring. So it's a bit big for this test board. Well, and so what the plan is, again, this stream was not as well planned as dinner was. Oh, that's really close up. Why don't we just, hey, better. So what the plan is that I am now going to take some matte medium, and I actually found little bottles for very little money of Mod Podge. And I'm going to mix a little bit of this with, I don't know, like a burnt umber, something like that, and a bit of water. And I'm basically going to soak this in it until it is soaking wet. And then that's when I'll apply it And that's when I'll apply it to the surface, and then hopefully it'll be stained, it'll be thin, and hopefully look okay. Let's get the original wall out here, because I don't want to try it on the original wall. I've got sheets of these things. Let's put this around like... Do we think that's too big? I mean, I guess this is one of the smaller retaining walls. Rusty track mic? No, you don't think it's too big? Okay. So I realized that a live streaming webcam isn't great, but honestly, I think the color and look of that, particularly, oh. So what I'm going to do, what about curling the top corner down? Well, what I'm thinking, Scott, is that if I do something like, you're right, let's turn the top corner down. So if I do something like, my Christmas fingers aren't working as nimbly as I was hoping. So if I get some stainy sort of colored paint on it, bear with me here, folks. Looking at myself in a camera. Right? So if I tear them, the odd little tear like this, and fold it down on itself and it's sort of stained. Maybe if I even put like something like tea or whatever, and I have these sort of strips, because they hang them in strips, I believe, and have the strips all hanging down. And then the pièce de résistance is that I'm going to add some vines, and I'm going to do that with super leaf. Oh, come on, dummy. Super leaf. And I have both rusty orange and something like, I don't know, leather saddlebag. And so if you can imagine that, then along the bottom I've got some vines and they're climbing up a little bit. I'm hoping that that just ties the whole thing together. Jimmy's hot dogs and pet control. 1 second. Got to fire up that idea. Hang on. Jimmy hot dogs and pest control. Okay, but Scott, I know. But like, okay, so what? So sanding. All right. So here's our takeaways tonight. So sanding on a block, I was using just some 120 sandpaper on the back of a regular laser print. Right? Like there's nothing special about this paper. On the back, gets it thin enough that it becomes fairly transparent, and you can feel it. It's quite thin. Metal brushes apparently do nothing. But an emery board that you drag along the edge really chews it up. Have a Merry Christmas, Jason. Thanks for swinging by. We'll sort of put these little tears in it. If I soak this in a dyed matte medium and cut down some curls, perfect. Hannibal skin cream and other condiments. How about we just do, how about Hannibal's Botanicals? Tagline, it puts the lotion on its skin. There we go. Another one down. Loving them trains. Merry Christmas to you. I run games and trains. Listen, I've talked about, I've mentioned this before, that scale is still wild to me. You know, I forget where we had this conversation at some point. Oh, dear Scott Rails, I absolutely get your dark meaning. That's why That's why when he's lowering the hand cream into the pit with the woman that he's going to turn into the skin suit, he tells her to rub the lotion on its skin. So that's what I'm calling it Hannibal's Botanicals. When I go to the city, when I go to Toronto, and you stand beside the skyscrapers and stuff, yeah, they are imperceivably big. Like, you just don't have an understanding of how big things can be. So, yeah, these signs are big yet small. I need to get it sorted out, but I think that's gonna be fantastic. Man, this was a great night. All right, perfect. We're like doing well. I didn't expect that. So, put that down there. Have another sip. It's 10 to 9, and I, first of all, I've said it all night long, but Merry Christmas, everybody. I do appreciate people swinging by with me here tonight. I hope that anyone that's joining here had a decent day. And you know what? And for anyone that this isn't their favorite holiday, I mean it when I say, still is important to me just to hang out on this day anyway, and chat or whatever. Sometimes holidays are hard for some people, sometimes they're great for other people, and being able to just hang out with you guys does mean quite a bit to me, because outside of the things that I'm obviously doing in my own life, it's great to hang out with another community, and you guys are really part of that. So I do appreciate your presence. I do appreciate you putting up with me on a Christmas evening. I mean, hopefully some of you have got better things to do than look at me as I screw around with a toque on my head. But it's been good fun, and I appreciate you coming out. So, the takeaways for tonight. I got a Rapido mystery box, and I'm totally happy with it. I've got an instant unit train, a consist of covered hoppers, and I am going to ruin these. Second thing going on is that my lovely kids gave me a book to practice graffiti in, and I'm excited about that because I want to be able to just turn my brain off and ruin a bunch of cars. And I can hardly wait to turn these into something to be completely ashamed of. And I'm also thinking that I've got some Blair Line decals that would almost be the size of the side of this bus. Right? So I could take this bus, I could add some rust spots, and then just graffiti the one side of it. Like, God bless Montreal, but I think that your bus is becoming tribute, and we're going to turn it into something completely awful. And someone mentioned about covering up the windows. You know what? I don't know if it would look appropriate, but, I do have mesh. Yes, the bus has lights. For those of you who aren't familiar with this particular item, they're like, why does it come in such a big box? It's wired, and it's got working headlights and tail lights and somewhat free spinning wheels, and so you're able to plug this in and set it on the curb, and it's running. So yeah, maybe you could mesh up the front window and graffiti down the side. I might sound like a wise ass in these chats. Listen, you're hilarious. It's all good. I love this. Oh, other way, dummy. So, yeah, this is great. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about that? Zombie Patrol, 100%. ZOMB on one side, and then some other graffiti on the other side. And Steve, right? Second one of these, they're totally fun. Rusty Tracks Railroad. The mystery box was more than well worth it. Listen, I understand that, and I saw a lot of really spirited opinions online. We'll leave it at that. And some people were, I think, a little frustrated they didn't get something that was a little more interesting. And the truth is these Rapido boxes are Rapido's overstock. They're giving them away at like a basement bottom price. It's a fair trade, and I'm happy for it. So I am very grateful for this. As I said, my girls got me these sort of without a lot of understanding or a lot of knowing, and so I deeply, deeply appreciate that. That was very touching that they figured this out and took care of it and also handled this. I got the bus from Speed, if you like an exploding bus. The bus has the colors of Aurelia Transit. I don't know what that is. Huh, okay. So, with all that, well, let's average $40 car, right? The chocolate's worth at least $3 or $4. So, where was I at? Merry Christmas, everybody. I think that's a good place to stop. We got some stuff done for the retaining wall. You listen to me ramble on. Have a Merry Christmas. I won't see any of you probably till the new year. I am very hopeful that I'll be able to get this retaining wall finished and share sort of the process of how I got that done. And I am really looking forward to the new year. Oh, I remember what I was thinking about. I started building the benchwork for this new layout 12 and a half months ago. I know that I tore it down in the summer, but I didn't start putting up the benchwork till just over a year ago. And the second thing was December 5th was apparently the 5th year anniversary for being online and making videos. And I had no notion it had been 5 years already. Like it feels like 2. So for anyone who's put up with me for 5 years, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Have a happy new year, guys, and I look forward to seeing you. I think whatever the second Thursday in January is. Thanks. Have a great night.